A royal bombshell shakes the crown. In July 2025, a viral video surfaces online, allegedly recorded by a palace guard, claiming to capture Queen Camilla mocking Princess Catherine's cancer diagnosis. The audio? Mysteriously missing. The voices? Distorted. But the internet doesn't wait for proof. Within hours, #Camilla leak dominates TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, igniting outrage and heartbreak around the world. Did Camilla really make those remarks? Or is this the most ruthless royal smear campaign in decades? As silence spreads from Kensington Palace, insiders scramble, royal watchers divide, and public trust trembles. Because if true, this isn't just gossip, it's betrayal. But if false, then someone just weaponized illness to destroy the Queen's credibility. With no official response, only one question remains. What's real and what's revenge? This is more than a scandal. This is the monarchy at war with a rumor that won't go quietly. Rumor erupts. Guard leaks secret audio. In July 2025, a TikTok video just 12 seconds long set the internet ablaze. Posted anonymously on July 9th, it showed a grainy hallway in Buckingham Palace with a caption claiming that a palace guard had secretly recorded Queen Camilla mocking Kate Middleton's cancer journey. The visuals were dark, the soundtrack ominous, but there was no actual audio. The clip lacked names, dates, transcript, yet within 48 hours, the #CamillaLeak racked up over 12 million views across YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and X, formerly Twitter. The spread was fueled by sensational thumbnails, blurred guard images, gothic font, and shock music crescendos. Influencers stitched it with subtitles like, "She actually said that?" None quoting real words. Despite the absence of substance, people latched on. The palace had re-entered scandal territory, but this time forces were deeper. Virtual echo chambers, rapid reposting, and emotional resonance over factual foundation. Emotion first, evidence second, observed a veteran media analyst at ITV News. Inside palace walls, the reaction was swift and anxious. Kensington Palace released a pointed two-line statement. "We do not comment on fabricated or unsubstantiated content." Yet that silence was deafening. According to a Daily Mail source, palace officials held a fast-moving PR crisis call at 9:00 a.m. on July 10th to assess media impact. One aide admitted, "We knew denial wouldn't stop it. It might fuel it." The staff then prepared for fallout, hoping no further audio would surface. Meanwhile, Reddit and conspiracy podcasts lit up. One viral theory claimed the guard was in fact an AI-generated voice. Another alleged this was revenge for publication of Diana's letters. With each new repost, the rumor mutated. No anchor to reality, only momentum. As one insider warned, a rumor doesn't need truth when the audience demands drama. Royal reputation teetered on a whisper. An unverified whisper could wreck more than gossip. It could fracture public trust. Despite the roar of social media, the real backdrop to this was Princess Kate's courageous cancer journey in 2024, deeply human and vividly documented. That authentic story stood in stark contrast to the fabricated TikTok. And as the palace grappled with rumor, the world still remembered the emotional roller coaster of Kate's diagnosis, surgeries, and heartfelt recovery. In Section 2, we'll revisit Kate's public health narrative, from January 2024's planned surgery to the Frank March video that touched hundreds of millions. Kate's illness and public journey. On January 16, 2024, Kensington Palace announced that Princess Kate had undergone planned abdominal surgery at the London clinic, to be followed by a period of rest. The press release was concise, factual, and private. But behind the polished lines lay worry, among royal aides, medical staff, and Catherine's family. Later that evening, one aide said, "They wanted silence so she could heal in peace." That atmosphere of care formed the foundation for what would follow. 2 months later, on March 22, 2024, Kate broke that silence. In a video filmed in a Windsor garden overflowed with nascent spring light, she revealed a cancer diagnosis and the start of preventative chemotherapy. "It's taken us time to share this," she said, calm but resolute, addressing her children George, 10, Charlotte, chapter 8, and Louis, 5. Her direct gaze and measured tone made the message powerful. This wasn't just protocol, it was profoundly personal. Kate's honesty resonated with millions of viewers worldwide. Within 48 hours, the video had been viewed by over 151 million people, across platforms like BBC, CNN, and the New York Times. Messages of support poured in from heads of state, friends, and ordinary people. Celebrities like Elton John and Oprah. Winfrey expressed empathy, and charities rallied behind her. The surge of public emotion, backed by factual reporting and verified statements, showcased a royal moment rooted in authenticity, a sharp contrast to the later TikTok fantasy. As spring turned to summer, Kate's health progress remained in careful view. Updates were rare, but when shared, they were heartfelt. Kate relaxing at home with her children, William's soft hugs on engagement departures. The public knew her treatment was ongoing, but also that it was led with resilience. That narrative of transparency and emotional strength became the enduring context. In this light, rumors of Camilla mocking that journey didn't just defy fact. They defied the collective memory of empathy. Following Kate's public bravery, an unexpected source offered a gesture of grace. Queen Camilla, who quietly but perceptibly supported her through uncertain times. A single comment at a farmer's market in March 2024 showed compassion, not condescension. As the 2025 rumor gained steam, this moment became vital. In Section 3, we examine Camilla's genuine public solidarity during Kate's illness, her soft word in a public space that resonates far more than anonymous gossip ever could. Camilla's public support role. On March 27, 2024, just days after Kate's cancer announcement, Queen Camilla visited Shrewsbury Farmers Market for a scheduled engagement. When asked about Catherine, she paused and replied, "Catherine is so grateful for the kind messages. Everyone means a great deal to her." The warmth in her tone was authentic. That benign, compassionate response was syndicated across news networks like BBC Breakfast and ITV News, replayed in primetime coverage. Behind cameras, Camilla's actions matched her words. From March through April, she continued engagements with children's literacy programs, women's recovery charities, and mental health initiatives, all while Kate dealt with treatment. Press photographers captured fleeting smiles exchanged via video call at Kensington. The public took notice. Camilla wasn't overshadowing Kate. She was supporting from the wings. Royal commentators emphasized the difference between divisive rumor and quiet solidarity. A Daily Telegraph piece called it a moment of grace, and a Vanity Fair column said her response showed authentic compassion in a world of crisis. Perhaps most importantly, there was no evidence of whispers or mocking, just visibility and validation. The rumor of Camilla sneering at Kate's suffering directly contradicted this documented history. That contrast underscores how emotional truths matter more than viral fantasies. For 2 decades, Camilla had worked to reshape her public persona, from scandal figure to trusted royal. With each kind word, each steady appearance, she advanced that arc. And in spring 2024, when a future rumor sought to paint her as callous, the world had already witnessed her humanity. No guard exists, no leak heard. As the rumor swelled across July 2025, major media outlets began checking the story's legitimacy and came up empty. No BBC, no Reuters, no Sky News Bulletin ever mentioned leaked audio. In fact, PolitiFact, Full Fact UK, and Reuters Fact Check each released briefings by July 12th, stating clearly, "No verified source has confirmed the existence of any palace audio involving Queen Camilla and Princess Kate." The supposed guard who leaked it. No name, no employment record, no evidence. Security protocol at royal residences, including Clarence House, Windsor, and Kensington Palace, is airtight. Guards are trained under the Royal Protection Command, a branch of London's Metropolitan Police. Audio surveillance without authorization would not only breach contract, it would be illegal under the UK's Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act, RIPA, of 2000. Not a single legal source, palace insider, or press watchdog could identify a real person behind the so-called leak. Some tech-savvy users began analyzing the clip's origin. One Reddit thread traced the original poster's account to Singapore, with activity linking to a known fake news network. Others noticed the strange cadence of Camilla's supposed voice, likely generated by AI. Deepfake detection tools flagged the video's waveform as synthetically generated. As one expert from Oxford Internet Institute noted, "This isn't a whistleblower, it's a storyline built in a lab." By mid-July, the palace still hadn't issued further comment, because no internal investigation existed. No staff member was placed on leave. No formal complaint was filed. The royal household had, in essence, treated the entire affair as beneath response. And perhaps that was the most damning detail of all. In the world of royalty, silence is often the clearest rebuttal. Media, amplification, and visual drama. While facts unraveled, the internet machinery kept running. The original TikTok had 9 million views by July 11th. 3 days later, it hit 15 million. On YouTube Shorts, several reposts used titles like "Camilla Caught," "Audio Leaked by Guard." Each used the same visual formula: a blurred palace hallway, distorted thumbnails, royal crests overlaid with flashing red arrows. None had sources. All raked in ad revenue. This wasn't new. A similar pattern played out in March 2023, when a deepfake photo of Kate with manipulated scars went viral before quickly being debunked. Then, too, conspiracy channels surged first. Facts came second. In the case of the Camilla clip, influencers fueled the echo chamber with fabricated analysis videos, adding fake transcripts and dramatic readings to heighten emotion. A royal family historian told The Times, "It's no longer about the truth, it's about the thumbnail." The algorithm doesn't wait for confirmation. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and X reward engagement, whether true or false. Videos that sparked outrage about Camilla generated higher click-through rates than verified fact-check posts. In fact, a PolitiFake deepfake detection video, uploaded July 13th, got just 80,000 views, while the top fake audio reaction clip crossed 1.7 million. That's the digital attention economy in full effect. This media frenzy mirrors earlier royal conspiracy cycles, like the Megxit leaks or Diana's letters. But unlike those, this rumor had no base material. It was vapor. Yet audiences consumed it. reshared it, and in many cases, believed it. Because in modern media, a juicy lie moves faster than a boring truth. And Queen Camilla, once again, became the unwitting character in someone else's scripted fantasy. William and Kate's expected response. Amid the noise, Prince William and Princess Kate maintained the stance they'd held since March 2024. Speak through action, not outrage. At a time when Kate's recovery was still delicate, William issued no statements, offered no rebuttals, and gave no interviews about the Camilla rumor. One Kensington Palace aide told The Guardian, "His focus is Catherine, the rest is just noise." That approach echoed William's previous strategy. In early April 2024, when false rumors swirled about Kate being in hiding, he calmly continued public duties while privately ensuring Kate had the space she needed. Even during the peak of the spare media fallout in 2023, William never lashed out, choosing diplomacy over dramatics. He'd learned from his mother's playbook: never explain, never complain. Kate, still undergoing chemotherapy, had not returned to public life full-time by July 2025. Yet her silence was not absence. It was protection. The royal family knew that fueling the rumor would only feed it. They'd lived this cycle too many times before. As one former royal press secretary noted, their silence is deliberate. It means there's nothing to answer. In that quiet space, the family protected what mattered: recovery, dignity, truth. No whisper, no viral edit, no AI-generated lie could pierce the bond between them. The rumor might dominate headlines, but inside Anmer Hall, the only focus was healing. For William, that wasn't just priority. It was legacy. While William and Kate chose privacy, the palace as a whole leaned on tradition, letting the silence speak. That subtle refusal to engage fits a larger strategy. Don't elevate baseless claims with royal weight. But this isn't just protocol. It's public psychology. In Section 7, we explore how the monarchy communicates during a media storm and why saying nothing often means saying everything. Because in royal history, the way a palace refuses to answer often reveals more than any public statement ever could. Trust in royal communications. The British royal family's media strategy has long been defined by what it doesn't say. In the aftermath of the July 2025 Camilla rumor, that legacy continued. There was no press conference, no legal action, no fiery denial. Just a recycled, familiar phrase from the Royal Communications Office: "We do not comment on speculative material." To outsiders, it might seem evasive, but to seasoned watchers of the monarchy, it meant one thing: this wasn't worth dignifying. Since the days of Queen Elizabeth II, royal protocol has emphasized discretion, restraint, and long memory. From the Diana interviews in 1995 to Prince Andrew's 2019 Newsnight disaster, the family learned that media battles often backfire. Now, King Charles III, William, and senior aides operate under a principle known as never elevate the noise. A baseless clip, no matter how viral, doesn't get a headline response unless it threatens the institution itself. The palace has, in fact, responded. Before, just not here. In January 2024, when wild theories about Kate's whereabouts dominated social feeds, the family issued a health update and confirmed her surgery. When pressure mounted again in March, they broke precedent with Kate's heartfelt cancer video. These weren't reactions to gossip. They were controlled, strategic messages aimed at quelling concern. Their silence now around the Camilla audio wasn't passivity. It was measured judgment. As one royal press advisor told The Telegraph, they know exactly what they're doing. The lack of response is the response. In this modern era, where TikTok hoaxes can reach millions in minutes, the royals rely on time, truth, and trust. And that approach, tested through crisis after crisis, remains their strongest tool against falsehood. Public reaction. Public response to the alleged Camilla leak split sharply between two camps. On one side were loyalists, many of them longtime fans of Princess Kate, who expressed outrage. "How dare she mock someone with cancer?" one tweet read, echoing over 200,000 shares. On the other side stood skeptics, users, journalists, and digital literacy advocates who demanded proof before emotion. "Where's the audio?" one viral post asked. "Or are we just attacking Camilla because it feels good?" A YouGov poll conducted between July 15-17, 2025, surveyed 2,500 UK residents. Results showed 78% still held a positive opinion of Kate, while Camilla's favorability held steady at 54%, only a 2-point drop from the month before. In contrast, belief in the rumor itself was low. Only 12% of respondents said they believed the clip was real. The remaining 88% either doubted it entirely or had seen no evidence. That split told a powerful story. Fact-check platforms like Snopes and PolitiFact launched deep dives by July 14th, and by July 18th, most major news organizations had moved on. While the rumor burned bright, it burned fast, and then flickered out. What remained was not scandal, but reflection. Why were people so quick to believe something so thin? Especially when it involved a woman, Camilla, who had spent over 20 years carefully rebuilding her public image? As media critic Amelia Roskin-Frazee wrote in Vanity Fair, "What we saw wasn't a scandal. It was a test of how much people want royalty to suffer for their past sins." The public may not have believed the rumor, but their willingness to engage with it exposed deeper undercurrents. Past wounds, unresolved loyalties, and how easily old narratives resurface when new pain appears. Camilla's rebuilding of trust. Queen Camilla's journey from royal mistress to respected consort is one of the monarchy's most dramatic image turnarounds. Once vilified in the 1990s press as the third person in Diana's marriage, her approval ratings have steadily risen since Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee in 2022, when the late monarch publicly endorsed her as future queen consort. That statement changed everything. It was not only a personal blessing, but a national signal. Camilla had earned her place. By the time of her coronation alongside King Charles III on May 6, 2023, Camilla had become a stable, respected figure in the public eye. She had launched literacy campaigns, supported domestic violence shelters, and showed consistent commitment to royal duties. Her post-spare handling, particularly in early 2023 after Prince Harry's explosive claims, showed composure. She didn't respond directly. She remained visible, gracious, and entirely on script. In light of that track record, the 2025 mocking rumor feels out of place. There were no previous incidents of cruelty or offhand remarks tied to Camilla in recent memory. Even commentators who once criticized her, like royal biographer Tina Brown, now refer to her as a surprisingly calming presence in turbulent times. The alleged guard audio would represent a total deviation from that persona, and yet there is no trace of it in behavior, language, or record. What the scandal really did was test her progress. Could 2 decades of goodwill be undone in 12 seconds of faked drama? As it turns out, the answer was no. While the rumor stung, it didn't stick. Camilla remained, as one aide put it, exactly where she's always been, standing beside the throne, not behind someone's back. As the headlines finally shifted and timelines moved on, one quiet truth settled into place. The story that stuck wasn't the fake audio, but the real resilience. In Section 10, we'll bring it home, exploring how the monarchy weathered this latest storm and what it taught the public about truth, loyalty, and the power of silence. Because in the end, when everything else is stripped away, what remains isn't what was whispered, but what was proven. Rumor versus reality. When the dust finally settled. By late July 2025, there was no leak, no audio, no palace guard, no scandal, only speculation that fed off old shadows. Yet despite the emptiness of the claim, its reach had been vast. It touched millions, stirred old grudges, and once again reminded the world that when it comes to the British monarchy, narrative often overpowers nuance. But the truth was stronger than the lie. The monarchy didn't fight the rumor. It didn't scramble or overreact. Prince William and Kate remained silent, focused on healing and family. Camilla continued her scheduled duties, never flinching. And perhaps that's why the story faded. It lacked reaction. It lacked fuel. The public eventually realized what was missing: evidence. In a world saturated with noise, the absence of proof spoke loudest. What endured instead was Kate's cancer journey, not the fabricated whispers around it. Her March 22, 2024 video, viewed over 150 million times, still stands as one of the most intimate and dignified royal statements in modern memory. The country rallied behind her then, and despite internet distractions, they never stopped. Even through the smear, public support for Kate remained over 78%, with Camilla holding steady at 54%, proof that truth, over time, regains its footing. This incident also showed how far Camilla had come. From tabloid villain in the 1990s to quietly respected queen by 2025, she passed a critical test: whether a digital age rumor could undo decades of careful, consistent public service. It couldn't. Her silence, like William's, was not avoidance, it was strategy. And in hindsight, it worked. As one royal analyst said in The Times, this wasn't a scandal, it was a moment. A test of how we handle information in an emotional age. In the end, the lesson wasn't just about media, monarchy, or misdirection. It was about discernment. In a world where we're trained to react instantly, this story asked us to pause, to reflect, and to demand more than a clip. Because behind every crown is a human being, and behind every rumor, there should be a question, not a conclusion. When we choose empathy over outrage, truth over impulse, we protect not just reputations, but our own integrity as a public. And that, more than anything, is what the monarchy weathered and quietly won. As the dust begins to settle, one thing becomes painfully clear. No verified guard, no actual audio, no credible media report. BBC? Silent. Reuters? Nothing. Kensington Palace? No comment. The so-called leak has no roots, only reach. And yet, the damage has been done. Millions have heard the accusation, but few are asking for evidence. Because in today's world, a whisper can echo louder than the truth. What's heartbreaking is that this entire firestorm unfolded in the shadow of Princess Catherine's real cancer battle. A journey she shared with courage and vulnerability back in March 2024, when her quiet video message touched hearts across the world. That moment was real. This rumor? Fabricated noise. Queen Camilla, who had publicly supported Kate during her recovery, suddenly found herself painted as a villain by a faceless video. A woman who's spent 2 decades rebuilding her public image, undone in 12 seconds of baseless speculation. And while the royal family chose silence, that silence wasn't weakness. It was strength, a refusal to fuel the fire. Because those who know the truth don't need to shout it. This story was never about proof. It was about perception. And now, as the clip fades and timelines move on, the real legacy remains. Kate's grace, Camilla's resilience, and a monarchy that withstood another digital storm by doing what it's always done: endure. So next time a leak goes viral, ask yourself, is it fact? Or just fantasy built for clicks? Because behind every crown is a human, and behind every rumor is a choice. What story will you believe?